Hi, Jacquelyn Ekern here, founder and president of Eating Disorder Hope. I wanted to talk with you today about an interesting article published recently in the Milwaukee and Wisconsin Journal Sentinel. This is a Pulitzer Prize winning publication in the past, and I thought they did a really great job on this article discussing binge eating disorder and medication in the treatment of binge eating disorder. It's a somewhat controversial topic right now, so it's important that we address it and critically think about how we want to approach the use of medication in the diagnosis and treatment of binge eating disorder. And some of the key points in this article that I found very interesting were that the statistics vary. Different research claims from 4 to 8.5 million sufferers of binge eating disorder in America currently. So that's quite a discrepancy, something that we need to probably better refine, those statistics. And then it dives into largely the treatment of binge eating disorder with the medication Vyvanse. And it brings up lots of concerns that are valid. When binge eating disorder was first included in the DSM-5, that opened up the door for binge eating disorder sufferers to get treatment, which is excellent, right? But it also opened the door for money-making ventures, and certainly the pharmaceutical companies are aware of that. However, I see pros and cons to Vyvanse, and I'd like to point those out to you and would welcome your feedback. On the negative side, I think there is some concern that's been expressed that there's not been enough cardiovascular effects research done on the medication, and that's important, and we need to do that. There is a potential for dependence and abuse in the use of Vyvanse. And so these people with binge eating disorder that are being prescribed Vyvanse could potentially develop an addiction. And I think also it has just the binge eating disorder diagnosis on the negative side has maybe opened the door for people that have a less serious struggle with weight and food to exaggerate their symptoms in order to obtain this medicine in an attempt for quicker weight loss. So there's just a few of the negatives, okay? But I see the positives just as strong. And here they go. So one, if you have binge eating disorder and you're miserable and this is beating you down and you really feel out of control with your disorder, this medication, Vyvanse, may, in some cases, give people greater self-control, the ability to binge less, which is significant to their self-esteem, sense of competency in the world, and ability to take their gifts and talents and go out and run with those. Self-esteem is essential to our well-being, and this could be a tool in the treatment of binge eating disorder, this medication, or others that we may learn of. Additionally, binge eating disorder brings so many other health concerns to the table for folks, like the stress on the knees and hips, and diabetes and heart attack. And if Vyvanse and the treatment of binge eating disorder with that medication, and also I would encourage therapy and other support from the family and community for that individual, then they may be better off taking the medication, facing any risks that are inherent in the medication, just to offset the very dangerous, possibly life-threatening issues they're already facing if they're carrying tremendous extra weight due to their binge eating disorder. So again, these are just very light topics that I'm discussing that we could dive really deep into. But I want to encourage us all to think about this openly and communicate about this very important topic, because so many people do struggle with binge eating disorder. And we don't want to throw the baby out with the bathwater. Yes, there are some concerns about using medication for binge eating disorder, of course. I think there's concerns about using medication in the treatment of anything. Depression, ADHD, diabetes. There are always offsetting negatives to taking a medication. And in most cases, I think reasonable health providers will say, do the pros outweigh the cons, or vice versa? And communicate with the client consistently, or the patient, excuse me, to determine if it's working for them now and consistently as they monitor it. So in the cases where Vyvanse is prescribed for binge eating disorder sufferers, and it is through careful assessment and accurate diagnosis of binge eating disorder for that individual, and the Vyvanse is prescribed by a licensed healthcare provider who also monitors their care and strongly suggests and encourages and hopefully helps them set up therapy and the development of other coping skills to offset the behaviors of binge eating disorder that have been meeting needs in the person's life, then I think we should consider it as a very valuable potential contribution to binge eating disorder recovery. So there's our thoughts here at EDH as of now. I am always open to changing my opinion as I learn more. I certainly don't know everything, but I would like to share that with you and would love to hear your thoughts and concerns. Thank you.